This is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana, USA. He was an American singer, songwriter, and dancer. Dubbed the King of Pop, he is regarded as one of the most significant cultural figures of the 20th century. Throughout his lifetime, Michael Jackson was controversial for his eccentric behavior, including his ever-changing appearance and bizarre music videos. However, there's no denying that Michael Jackson had a successful career, and he remains the best-selling album artist of all time, with more than 400 million records sold worldwide. But how did Michael Jackson become so famous? What made him the king of pop? Let's find out. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, at 2300 block of Jackson Street in Gary, Indiana, to parents Joseph Walter Jackson and Catherine Esther. When Michael was just 5 years old, his father formed a band called the Jackson 5 with Michael as its lead singer. His 4 older brothers, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon, also joined the band along with Michael's 13-year-old cousin, Michael Joseph Jackie. At age 6, Michael was already performing with the group at local venues around Gary, which gave him his first taste of stardom. "I started my career at the age of 5, he said. "When we were kids, my brothers and I would get up and dance and sing while our father played guitar." In 1964, the Jackson 5 changed their name to the Jackson Brothers. In 1966, they auditioned for a spot on the Hollywood Palace and became the first black artists to be booked on the show since its debut in 1967. By 1968, the group had a string of hits, including I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. They toured extensively throughout the United States, Canada, and Europe. While achieving huge success, Michael began to feel smothered by his father's strict management. According to Michael, his father was a strict disciplinarian who often physically chastised him and his brothers. One time, he recounted, "If you miss a cue, I'd hit you so hard that sometimes I would fall down and break my own nose." On another occasion, his father kept him awake for 10 hours straight because he wanted Michael to practice his dance moves. Feeling suffocated, Michael fled to Los Angeles at age 13 and moved in with his sister, Janet. It wasn't long before he landed his first major record deal. At age 14, Michael Jackson signed with Motown Records. He released his first solo album, Got to Be There, in 1972. Although it was not as commercially successful as his later albums, Got to Be There reached #1 on the Billboard R&B chart. In 1975, he released his second album, Ben, which included the #1 hit Ben. With this album, Michael established himself as a solo artist and teen idol. "When I first went into the studio, I was very shy and unsure of myself," he recalled. "But once I heard the track and felt the beat, I got excited and began singing and dancing, and it all came together." Michael's third album, Music and Me, was released in 1976 and featured the hit single, I Wanna Be Where You Are. Off the heels of this album, Michael embarked on his first world tour. He headlined concerts in Europe and Asia. During this time, he began working with producer Quincy Jones on what would become his most popular album. Thriller is one of the best-selling albums of all time. Since its release in 1982, it has sold more than 66 million copies worldwide. Thriller contains some of Michael Jackson's most popular songs, including Wanna Be Startin' Somethin', Beat It, Thriller, Human Nature, and PYT, Pretty Young Thing. All 7 of its singles reached the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. This made Michael the first artist in history to have 7 #1 singles from a single album. Michael's signature dance moves, the moonwalk and the anti-gravity lean, were introduced in the music video for Thriller. Director John Landis said he thought of Michael as a modern-day Fred Astaire. "He's the greatest entertainer since the advent of rock and roll," he said. "The kid can really dance." Thriller marked the beginning of a new era in Michael's life. He became a global superstar, but he was also thrust into the public spotlight. Throughout his career, Michael Jackson struggled with his privacy. Fans often gathered outside his home in Los Angeles, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. Paparazzi followed him everywhere he went. Just being outside his home was an adventure. "I couldn't even walk down the street," he said. "People would be yelling, screaming, taking pictures. It was like being in a zoo." In the summer of 1984, Michael decided to buy Neverland Ranch in Santa Barbara County, California. The 2,700-acre property included a ranch house, stables, and a large meadow perfect for giving impromptu dance performances. Michael named the ranch Neverland after the magical island where Peter Pan and his fairy companion, Tinker Bell, spent their time. Michael hoped the ranch would be his sanctuary. "It's a place where children never have to leave," he told People magazine in 1989. "No matter how old you are, if you can keep your childlike wonder and imagination alive, you can enjoy Neverland forever." Unfortunately, Michael's refuge became the target of media scrutiny. Rumors circulated that the ranch was a hangout for young boys. The star was even accused of molesting a minor on the premises. These accusations ruined Michael's reputation and forced him to put his home on the market. By the end of 1984, Michael Jackson was the biggest celebrity in the world. He set out on his first worldwide tour, the Victorious Tour, which grossed over $100 million, becoming the highest-grossing tour in history. From 1985 to 1987, Michael took a break from touring to focus on recording. He worked with producer Quincy Jones again on the album Bad. Released in 1987, the album became the best-selling album of the year, thanks to the popularity of its lead singles, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, and Man in the Mirror. It was during this time that Michael changed his appearance dramatically. He bleached his skin and hair almost white. Rumors spread that he was sick with a rare skin disorder known as vitiligo. Michael denied this, saying that he merely enjoyed wearing white clothes. In 1988, Michael launched his second world tour, the Bad World Tour, which was watched by over 4 million people across 16 countries. A documentary film titled Moonwalker was released in 1988 and chronicled his life and career. It contained footage from the Bad Tour interspersed with original scenes and animation. The following year, Michael starred in a Pepsi commercial, which ended in tragedy. On January 27, 1991, during a commercial shoot at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena, Michael caught fire after accidentally leaning into a pyrotechnic display. He suffered second-degree burns to his face, scalp, and upper body. Despite his injuries, Michael returned to work 2 weeks later and performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. That same year, Michael released his fifth studio album, Dangerous. Like his previous album, Bad, Dangerous was a huge commercial success, selling over 30 million copies worldwide. Its lead singles, Black or White, Remember the Time, and In the Closet, pushed the boundaries of MTV with their innovative music videos. In 1993, Michael Jackson married Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis. The marriage lasted 2 years. Later that year, Michael faced allegations that he had molested a young boy at his home. He settled out of court with the boy and his family and issued a public apology. Then, in 1995, Michael released his sixth studio album, History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1. The album was a critical and commercial success. Its lead singles, You Are Not Alone, and Earth Song, became anthems for a generation. Michael embarked on his third world tour in 1996, the History World Tour, which grossed over $150 million, making it the highest-grossing tour of all time. By the late 1990s, Michael's personal life was in shambles. Despite his fame and fortune, he was plagued by insomnia, depression, and loneliness. He had difficulty maintaining relationships and often found himself feeling isolated. As a result, Michael retreated to his ranch and stopped touring. In 2001, Michael's personal life made headlines again when he was accused of molesting a young boy. This time, the allegations were proven to be false. Nevertheless, the scandal hurt Michael deeply and he retreated further into his shell. In 2005, Michael was charged with 7 counts of child molestation. He was found not guilty on all counts, but the trial left him emotionally and financially drained. In 2009, Michael released his first album in 14 years, a collection of previously unreleased material titled This Is It. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 8 million copies worldwide. Tragically, Michael died on June 25, 2009, at the age of 50. He was found unresponsive at his home in Los Angeles after suffering cardiac arrest. His personal physician, Conrad Murray, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter for administering a fatal dose of the anesthetic propofol. Michael was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. At the time of his death, he was planning a series of 50 comeback concerts in London. Michael Jackson will always be remembered as the King of Pop. His music continues to inspire people around the world, and his dance moves remain legendary. Even though his personal life was filled with turmoil, Michael never let it affect his music. He was a true entertainer who loved what he did, and he shared that love with his fans. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please share it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.